Today is the 1st of December 2021, and yesterday the government reintroduced the wearing of face masks in all shops in England and when using public transport. Now personally, I have no problem with that because it's no hardship. Also, there's a new variant, no one's entirely sure what's going to happen, and given that there are still nurses working 12-hour shifts in full PPE, I can put some cotton over my nose when I'm buying fucking tea bags. And I called in at the supermarket on my way home from work, and I'd guess between 90 and 95% of people were wearing face coverings or wearing the lanyard saying they're exempt. And that's because 90 to 95% of the British population are reasonably intelligent. However, there were two distinct groups of people who weren't wearing face coverings. So the first group are women who follow a certain religion. Those are the headscarf persuasion. But it struck me that even though they may have lived in England their entire lives, there's also a good chance they don't speak a fucking word of English, because some of the more extreme followers of this particular religion are very controlling of their womenfolk. So I guess we can almost give them a pass. Then there's the second group, and these are the people we'll be focusing on, who I like to refer to as gurning half-wits. You may have noticed it's getting dark, so, well, hey! Yes, the anti-maskers are back, along with their compadres, the anti-vaxxers. The groups in society who make flat earthers look like fucking nuclear physicists. As soon as the announcement was made that face masks were coming back, those fuckers couldn't wait to flood social media with their truly hilarious attempts at using the English language. One I saw a few days ago read, "No one can force me." The spelling went, no one, N-O-W-O-N. He got can right, so there's some credit. And then force, F-O-U-R-S. And these twats wonder why we don't take them seriously. Another one, who I was arguing with on Facebook, said it's not natural, people don't want cover them face. So I put it to him, does he not wear shoes? Because they aren't natural either. And also, I'm guessing he's been on holiday. Now, it's not natural for human beings to be 35,000 feet in the air, travelling at 600 fucking miles an hour. But we all do that. I need to correct that. I mean, we all used to do that. Anti-vaxxers won't do it anymore because countries don't let them in. And all of them fail to realise they're acting like selfish, tantruming fucking toddlers. Wearing a face covering is no hardship. In fact, it's a very basic IQ test. I'm not going wear face covering because no one can tell me what do. Except for all the conspiracy theorists I see on YouTube. And they usually act with an almost idiotic sense of patriotism, which makes sense because we know they all voted for Brexit. And they'll usually go on about how we won the war. And if a British person ever refers to the war, they're talking about World War II. Just a heads up, tinfoilers, if you're under 90 years old, no you fucking didn't. And with that in mind, I started wondering, what would the Second World War have been like if there'd been anti-maskers back then? How would the Blitz have gone? And if you're watching this from outside the UK, the Blitz refers to a point in World War II where the Luftwaffe were bombing the shit out of Britain. So the British people put up blackout curtains and turned off all the streetlights to make it harder for the enemy bombers to hit their targets. What I expect would have happened if there'd been people with an anti-vax or anti-mask mindset is that 95% of the British population would comply, but then every street would have one arsehole with all his lights on and the curtains open. There'd be a few distinct morons who'd stand outside shouting, "I don't live in fear," saying that the Luftwaffe doesn't actually exist and it's part of a government conspiracy, and also they don't know anyone who's been bombed. Because this is a curious thing about the anti-mask and anti-vax brigade. They'll all claim they don't know anyone who's been ill with the virus. But then they also falsely claim that 95 members of their family died from getting vaccinated. And of course, that's untrue. Because according to an NHS website, in the first 6 months of this year, 91.2% of people who were hospitalised hadn't been vaccinated. Another thing they constantly bang on about is comparing modern day Britain to Nazi Germany and telling people they need to read up on the Holocaust. Now, how the fuck does wearing a face covering in Sainsbury's compare to the worst thing that's ever happened? Of course it doesn't, but we need to look at something rather important. Anti-maskers, anti-vaxxers and the main tinfoil brigade, they're a bunch of cunts. And on the off chance that there are any tinfoilers watching this, if you don't want to wear a face covering in the shops, that's fine. Order your shit online. And if you don't want to be vaccinated, that's also fine. But be aware, you are never going to travel abroad again. And more importantly, to anyone watching this who's an anti-masker or an anti-vaxxer, you can have your opinion. But stop trying to convince everyone else that you're fucking right. And to the conspiracy theorists who were trying to evoke a sense of the spirit of the Blitz, do you honestly think that the brave men and women of this country who defended Great Britain, who endured 6 years of World War II, who put up with blackouts and rationing and constant bombing raids, who lost friends and loved ones through said bombing raids, being sunk by U-boats, cut down with machine gun fire or tortured to death by the SS, do you think those men and women would look at you refusing to cover your fucking nose up and think you ain't any way heroic? No, they think you're a bunch of fucking pricks. I got a bit ranty at the end there, didn't I? Anyway, that's the end of this video. It's pitch black and I have no fucking idea where I am. But as ever, thanks for watching.